Hi everyone, so I'm back. I'm not dead, I'm still alive, I'm still here in Canada, still struggling to survive the plague. It's not a plague, things are getting better, but I'm here with an update. 6 months? No. 5 months and 5 months and a couple days into being here, and yes, things are getting better. Things are really improving, and I shouldn't complain too much because a lot of people have it far worse. So let's just go right into the updates. What have I been up to? What have I been doing? So I think the last video I made was 2 months update or 3 months. I don't even remember. The last video I posted was the one about the process, my PR process, which I will do the second part eventually. I know it's been like over 2 months, but I will do it eventually. I'm still recovering. I keep saying this. That whole process, it took a lot out of me emotionally. So I'm remembering what went wrong, what I did to fix that. So I will post that second part soon, I promise. So let me just go right into this video, which is what's been happening. So of course, we're still living through the global pandemic. COVID is still running rampant, but things in Canada are actually starting to get back to normal. They're opening up things again. Like last week, Wednesday, Toronto area, the GTA went into stage 2 where you could open barbershops and restaurants, so outdoor thing. So things are opening up again. It's been a real struggle prior to that. For example, the last video you saw me in, I was still wearing sweaters. It was still cold, and then all of a sudden the temperature kind of just switched, and it would have been easier for me to just go into stores and buy summer clothes without the pandemic, without COVID. But because of COVID, everything was closed. So I still only had winter clothes that I had bought before things started to close down and what I had brought with me. So I was very, very, very lucky where one store, I think it was Winners, which is like the TJ Maxx of Canada, that opened up right as the season was changing. So I was able to get, I got this shirt there. I was able to go and get stuff, but I had to wait in a line for 1 hour. They're really organized here. I had to wait in a line for 1 hour, social distanced, and then inside the store quickly I just grabbed the essentials, some basics, and tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. But then I had to wait another half an hour in the line to pay because of social distancing. So in all, that process took me 3 hours, almost 2.5 hours. And it really deters you from wanting to go outside or have to do anything as basic as shopping for clothes you need. But that's just the reality. That was the reality of the situation. But now things are getting a little better. Instead of waiting for an hour, maybe it's cut down the time to half an hour. I don't know. I don't go outside if I don't have to. So yeah, that's the update. I don't go outside if I don't have to. My life is very boring right now. I go to work. I still have my job, thank goodness. They're cutting hours at my job, which isn't good, because if they cut hours, I can't survive. I won't have enough money to pay rent and food, but fingers crossed something works out there. So I'm spending my time going to work, looking for a new job, or going to the laundromat, doing laundry, sleeping, lots of sleeping, eating. I started exercising about a month and a half ago because I was putting on weight, that winter weight thing. So I started exercising, and I just watch a lot of Netflix and YouTube. That's literally all I've been doing, and with my spare time. And I just haven't had time to record because if I'm not at work, then I'm exhausted and sleeping or trying to do something more productive. I mean, YouTube is productive, but it also takes time to record, time to edit, time to post, and that time I could be using to look for a better job or a more stable job. But I'm recording this video now, so yay! Alright, so there are a few things I want to talk about. So what I did get, which I was grateful for, was my health card. Now imagine moving to a new country and just, you know, in the middle of, and then all of a sudden a pandemic happens and not having health insurance. Can you imagine how you would feel at that point? That's how I felt. I was absolutely terrified for the first 3 months being here, because usually when you move to Canada as a permanent resident or as someone like spousal support, but I'll talk specifically as a permanent resident, you have to wait 3 months so that they have proof of residency here. That way then you can apply for health insurance, because you know you have Ontario Health, OHIP, Ontario Health Insurance Program. All the provinces have this, but it's basically free insurance. No, free health insurance. Not completely free. They don't cover dental and eye, but if you have emergencies or if you need to just go to the doctor for regular things, then that's covered. And I didn't have that for the first 3 months. Usually people pay for private insurance, but that's really expensive. I looked at it and I weighed my options and I was like, no, let me just be safe. And then the pandemic occurred, and so I just spent like 2 months absolutely terrified of getting COVID and dying. But what I didn't know is that the government had actually waived the 3-month waiting period. I didn't know that. So I could have actually gone and applied for my health insurance card as I landed. Not as I landed, but before waiting 3 months. So finally, after the 3 months passed, I decided to go. And prior to that, I had gotten some advice. This is why I say I want to give you guys advice, but I don't want you to take my advice to heart, because it might be the wrong advice. Because someone had advised me that not to go early, and when I go, I could use, as proof of residency, I could use my credit card statement, which is mailed to my apartment. So obviously it has my address, and this is for proof of residency, because you need 3 pieces of ID to get your health insurance, to apply for your health insurance. You need your landing papers or proof that you're a permanent resident. You need ID, proof of who you are. So that would be like my passport. I use my passport. And then you need proof of residency. Like you have to have proof that you've been here for at least 3 months. And I didn't have that because I didn't have a lease. I still don't have a lease. I've been just renting here month to month, and I didn't have that. So my bank manager, who was also an immigrant through permanent residency, he recommended that I just use the credit card bill statement versus the bank statement. So you could have used the bank statement too, but I don't get things mailed to me because to reduce paper, and because it's just a waste. I do everything is online. So I went to the bank and I changed my receipt method for my credit card to delivery, and so I had to wait 2 weeks for that statement to arrive with my name and everything and address on it. So I thought everything would be jiggy with that. I went down to Ontario Service, which is where you apply, and the guy was like, no, we can't use this. And I was like, but it has my name, it has my address, it was mailed to me, that should be proof enough. He's like, no, we need your bank statement, not your credit card statement. So I was like, it's the middle of a pandemic, I don't want to die, I need health insurance, and you're really declining it because of this one little detail. He was like, okay, here's what you can do. You can apply and get the Ontario photo ID, which is something to have where you just have proof that you're a resident of Ontario, and there you go. It costs $30, but you get it 2 weeks, usually 2 weeks or 3 months sometimes, but they did it really fast. I got it within 2 weeks, so I applied for that. I took the photo and I went back home and I waited 2 weeks. So that's another 2 weeks on top of the 3 months that I've been waiting to try and get health insurance. Finally got it. I got it 2 weeks later. The card came quickly. I had to change the card though because they made a mistake with my date of birth, but that's for another time. I don't have time to go to Service Ontario again, especially with the long lines in the hot sun. Remember, I don't like the hot sun? There you go. So I got that. I went down back to Service Ontario, sorry, I keep pronouncing Ontario wrong. I'm so sorry. Mommy, I'm so sorry. She keeps correcting me. So I went back to Service Ontario And then they were like, what did they say that time? Oh, they were only taking appointments because it was still during lockdown. And I was like, and I had to come early in the morning to take the appointment. Now my job, I work overnight from 10:30 to 6:30, so I wasn't gonna leave work to go and stand up in a line to come back, even though I have to sleep. So I was like, I gave him this look like, it was the same guy who declined me the last time. So I gave him this look like, I'm gonna kill myself if you don't give me health insurance right now. And he saw the look on my face and he just worked it out where there wasn't anyone, there wasn't a big rush, the people for the appointments weren't there yet, so they just fit me in. So thank God to him, even though he almost turned me down for the second time. But it worked out in the end. I applied for my health insurance. I finally got the card. So I have health insurance. And immediately after getting health insurance and having my health insurance number, I registered online with a service that helps you to find a general practitioner in your area that you can register with. Because right now they're not taking appointments. So I would have to register and do a video appointment. And I did that. I got a doctor. I called her office. I made an appointment and we did video chat, and I told her about my medical history, what my concerns were, and she was really nice. And yeah, so that worked out. I have health insurance. I have a general practitioner who I'm registered with, and you have to register with a general practitioner also, because if you want to do stuff like go to the gynecologist or go to the ophthalmologist, you have to get the recommendation, the, what's the word called? That thing where one doctor recommends you to another. So that's worked out. So that's the biggest update. I have health insurance. I'm covered by that, and I'm very happy. The other update is I finally got the letter from the Jamaican consulate here of proof of my driver's license. Now, I would like to work in my field of study, which is environmental biology, but I cannot do that because I need a driver's license to apply to any job here. That's just, my boss in Jamaica told me that. He's like, Lydia, you need a driver's license for this field. I was like, sure, okay. I have a driver's license, but I don't really know how to drive. I know how to drive. I just have very little to no driving experience. So I had to get a driver's license here. I have one from before. I've had one since I was 21 years old, and I'm 34 next month. So I've had over 10 years of experience and over 10 years of having a driver's license. Now, for other countries like England or Australia or Japan, once you come here with that experience, you can just easily transfer and get the Canadian driver's license. For me, it's different because I'm from Jamaica. So I have to go and get proof from the Jamaican consulate in written letter form that yes, I have had my license for over 10 years, and then I have to take that letter and go down to Service Ontario again and possibly do a driving test. Not possibly, more than likely do a driving test, and no, the written test, do a written driving test, and then do the road driving test to finally get a G license here, which is what is a requirement for every job I've seen to possibly apply for in my field. So I have to go do all of that. That is my goal for July, to at least go down and do the written test and pass the written test. So that's what I'm going to do in July. So yeah, so that's the update. Nothing else has changed. I have met most of the goals that I had set for when I arrived, which was of course to just get the regular things, my SIN number so I could work. I got that immediately, but also to get health insurance, which is okay now. I need to get my driver's license, which is the next goal. I need to start looking into programs to increase my skills in my field of study that match more with the Canadian standards. So basically just learn the environmental rules and regulations of Canada, so that would make me a better candidate for some jobs. Also getting the driver's license to get those jobs, and just trying to survive the plague, basically trying to survive. That's all I'm doing. And I also need to look into getting my own apartment with the lease and everything, but I can't do that just yet because I don't have a permanent full-time job, and you need that when you're applying for job apartments. Otherwise people are gonna be like, you could lose your job at any moment, we don't trust you. But luckily, thank God, I am still in this apartment. My landlord has just been gracious enough to allow me to continue to stay on and just pay month to month, and that's how I'm surviving. It's a struggle. It's a real struggle. Don't let anybody tell you moving to another country isn't easy, especially during a friggin' pandemic. That's the worst part. Things have just been made worse for me because of COVID. COVID is messing up my life, but it's messed up a lot of other people's lives even worse. So I have to be grateful. I have to be grateful that I am healthy, my family is healthy. In fact, to the point where my brother and my sister-in-law just had a beautiful baby girl. So I'm an auntie again. So I'm looking at those things and focusing on that happiness. I'm forgetting about the fact that it's been a real struggle here. But I'm surviving and I'm doing well, and I have a lot of support from people who care about me, so I'm happy about that. Canada Day is next week, July 1st. I should be excited, but no one's invited me to a barbecue yet. Social distancing and all. But I'll see how I celebrate that. I'll see how I celebrate my birthday in 2 weeks. Probably won't because I'll have work. But I have no other complaints. I have goals I've set for the next couple months, and hopefully things will get a lot better. Pray for me that I get a nice stable job. But the struggle is real. If I leave you with anything in this video, it will be that don't move to Canada by yourself. Find a husband or a wife or a best friend and move together, because the single person struggle of moving here by yourself as a permanent resident, it's real. That struggle is real. But anyways, that's it for now. I promise you I will get the second part of that PR video within the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I have a lot of free time coming up because my hours at work got cut. So I will come out with that video soon. But thanks for watching as always. It's really cool, and I really just want to say that I appreciate all the positive feedback. I wish I could help people more, but like I said, I don't want to give advice and it's the wrong advice and make your lives hard. But if you do enjoy the videos and they are helping you with information, I am very grateful for that. And keep doing what you're doing. And stay safe, everybody. I hope no one who watches my videos, your lives have been impacted too badly by the situation going on. And if it has been, keep the faith and don't worry too much. Everything will work out in the end. Okay? So till next time, bye.